Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch The Walking Dead season 11, the last one, episode 22. 3 episodes, guys. 3 episodes and we're gonna finish this season and we're gonna finish this show. It's insane. I'm saying it since we came back, into The Walking Dead with this new episode. It's insane to think that we have only 3 episodes to finish everything that we need to finish. Again, 3 things that these writers, they need to do before the end of this show. To conclude all of the stories that they created for this final season, for this context. To conclude the developments of the characters that we're not gonna have into the spin-off, and to introduce all of the spin-off and all of the things that they let you know, like we're gonna have spin-off, we're gonna have movies, don't worry, we're gonna see these characters again, so we're gonna finish their developments. And also the ones who disappeared, and normally we're gonna have something about them. Rick? Michonne? First thing, the stories. I think that they can do it. I think that it's the easiest thing, that they can do with these 3 last episodes to conclude all of the stories. It doesn't mean that they're gonna have the time really to do it. I'm saying it since the beginning of this season. They're gonna be forced to take shortcuts. For sure, they can't really take the time that they need to do everything, and they already took some big shortcuts during the last episodes, like for Pamela to make her the big main villain when they spent episodes to say that it was Hornsby, the big villain of the Commonwealth. Right now it's Pamela, and they took 1 episode to do it, to transform her into the big villain. That's okay. That's okay for me, for them to take shortcuts to make these stories, to make them evolve, because we need to progress into the stories because we are close to the end. I'm okay for that, as long as the time that they win by making these shortcuts into the stories, they are using it for the characters, for really making scenes for them, to let them express their opinions, their feelings, their emotions, stuff like that. For me, 3 episodes, it's okay for the stories because we have things to do and we can do them in 3 episodes. We need to take back our guys who are prisoners right now in Alexandria. We know this place by heart. Our guys, they know that place by heart, so I think that they can release them into just 1 episode. To come back into the Commonwealth, to resolve the situation with the Commonwealth, with this political organization which is so bad, with Pamela who is now the real big villain, with also changing the situation right there. Final episode to deal with that army of deaths who are coming. I said it, I think that it's a really good idea to have them, like that at the end, that army of deaths. Remind to everyone, including the viewers, that the real danger is the deaths, even more now that they introduce the fact that the deaths are evolving, they are getting more clever, so it's really gonna be great to end with the deaths, with that army of deaths, with that fight, to come back, to the DNA of The Walking Dead, to what was the real issue at the beginning of The Walking Dead, and to make also the characters understand that the deaths are the real danger, and even more because they are more clever. Stop fighting between each other, please. So, these 3 episodes to do that, if they are cutting it like that, I think that they have the time to conclude all of these 3 big stories, that they created into these 3 episodes. For me, it's okay. The development of the characters. They need to conclude a lot of characters' development during these 3 last episodes. If we consider that they're not gonna do it for the main ones that we're gonna have again into the spin-off. In fact, the existence of these spin-offs are eliminating a lot of characters, like, okay, they're gonna have their hand into the spin-offs. We don't need to put their hands into the main show. Saying it like that, we have at least what? 6, more than 6. At least 6 characters, like we don't need to prepare their hands into this final episode. So normally, because of that, we're gonna have the time to make the conclusions for the other characters that we're not gonna have into the spin-off. I'm thinking about Jerry, I'm thinking about Eugene, all of them, Rosita, all of them, we need to have their hands right now. Like really, I'm not gonna accept if they're doing something like, because we have the spin-off, we can conclude things for all of the characters into the spin-offs, you know, like at some point into one of the spin-off, one character is gonna say, oh, you heard that news about now that person is doing that, and oh, no, I want to see it, or I want to learn it into the main show, not into the spin-off. Again, I can accept to have the conclusions of the characters that we're gonna have into the spin-off, but the conclusions of all of the other characters that we're not gonna have into the spin-off, I want to have these conclusions into the main show. Again, we are watching this show. We are not supposed, you know, to watch all of the spin-offs related to The Walking Dead. I'm supposed to have all of my answers into the main show. I'm already accepting to have shortcuts. I'm already accepting to not have conclusions for the characters that we're gonna have into the spin-off. So I'm not gonna accept to not have also conclusions for the characters who are not gonna be into the spin-off through the characters that we're gonna have into the spin-off. Do you understand what I mean? At some point, you know, it's beginning to be a lot. The developments of the characters that we're not gonna have into the spin-off, I think that it can be done. It's gonna be short for sure. I don't think that we're gonna see them, you know, their new lives and stuff like that. But at least we can have them, you know, saying that they want to do that or things like that. The introduction for the spin-off and the movies, what we're supposed to have after that, I think that it can be, in fact, the hardest thing to do for the writers, to introduce all of the things that they have in mind for the spin-off and the movies. We have to remember that at the time that they wrote all of that, they didn't know that for sure this spin-off, this movie would exist, and would exist also with that form, because the form of this spin-off, these movies are changing so much that it's really hard to introduce something not knowing if this something is gonna exist for sure, and what they're gonna do, what they can do with this something. If they're gonna have 1 hour, you know, a movie of 1 hour, or if they're gonna have 4 episodes of 40 minutes. Like, it's so different when you're creating something, when you're writing something. So I think that at the end, introducing the spin-off and the movies, it's the hardest thing, in fact, for the writers. 3 episodes, guys. 3 episodes to end everything. That's rough. And something else that these writers, in fact, they need to do, it's 3 episodes to say goodbye to a show that we are following since 11 seasons. 3 episodes to create a mood, to create an emotion, a nostalgia for the viewers. They can do it, and they began to do it with these introductions each time, you know, said by the kids of this show. With Judith, during the last episode, I think that it was Herschel, the kids of these shows talking about the past while we are watching pictures from the past, but they are talking also about the future that they want. For kids who are representing the future, you know, it's creating an atmosphere of nostalgia at the beginning of each episode. It's a way also to see all of this journey that we had with this show, so I think that it's a good way to do it, but it can't be all, you know. That nostalgia, that mood that the writers, they need to prepare to conclude this show, they need to create something. I don't know what it's gonna be. It can be, I don't know, Judith dreaming about what she wants for the future. It can be You know, I'm thinking about that scene with Rick waking up with the flowers and all. I'm thinking about that big table with everyone eating and stuff like that. You all know which scene I'm talking about. I think that they need to create another moment like that for the viewers to feel that nostalgia, so we can really say goodbye to this show. Okay, they need to do these 3 things: ending the stories, conclusion for the characters that we're not gonna have into the spin-off, introduction for the spin-off. That's what they need to do, you know, for making the end of this show logical and acceptable. But for also say goodbye to this show, conclude this entire show, they need also to create that emotion of nostalgia, that mood, you know, of we are saying goodbye to this show. That's gonna be difficult. I don't think that it's gonna be during this episode. I think that they're gonna leave that for the really the last episode. But still, that's something that they need to create. No pressure, really, writers. No pressure at all. Okay, I think that I'm gonna end this intro. Yes, let's go for this episode 22. 3 episodes, guys. If you want, remember that you have my Patreon on which you can have these episodes on Monday each time, earlier than on YouTube, because on YouTube you know that it's not depending on me. Each time you have it during the week, but I can't tell you really on which day you're gonna have it. So if you want to have it each time on Monday, it's on my Patreon. Yes, you have them on Patreon and on YouTube, no matter what, earlier. I mean, before it's out on TV, because me, I'm watching them on the platform. And it's okay, it's functioning well, so if you want to have them, no matter what, earlier, you have my YouTube and my Patreon. And if you want to be sure that you're gonna have them on Monday, after it's out on the platform, it's on my Patreon. And on my Patreon, I'm putting extended or full reaction parts, it's depending, you know. For now, I only put extended reaction part for The Walking Dead. Maybe, you know, for the last episodes, I'm gonna put the full reaction part. I can't know that in advance. It's really when a lot of things are happening and when my emotions are so high that I can't cut into the video. Let's go for this episode of The Walking Dead. 3 episodes, guys. 3 episodes before the end. I'm stressed, I'm excited. I'm really going with it, you know, with an open mind. See, during all of this intro, I told you all of what the writers, they need to do, but also all of the things that I'm okay to accept, you know. The shortcuts, I'm okay to accept them. To not have ends, real ends for the characters that we're gonna have for the spin-off, I'm okay with that also. So see, really, I have an open mind. There are some things, you know, that I'm not gonna accept neither. Like, I'm a fan, but I'm not a blind fan. Okay? Let's go. And yes, the hair like that, like, I don't know what happened this morning when I woke up. I decided to have my hair like that.
The world is dark and broken, but we're not. Not yet.
Not that moment.
We stare into the face of death.
Oh, Negan, it's really an episode about you.
If we lose that, we lose everything.
I could be worried about Negan because of what he said during the last episode. I'm not gonna survive, I'm not gonna come with you, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, something like that. But, spoiler, we know with the spin-off that he's gonna survive.
Hey, who's that guy? Tyler Davis from the mail yard.
The one who took Max hostage.
I didn't say I liked him, but he's got balls. Might be useful. Two in the perimeter and 4 inside.
What do you prepare? Our guys are coming to rescue you, so come on, let them do their stuff. She's right there, your wife is right there, she's not so far. That's great.
Wife, pick up a couple extra shifts. Maybe she can, workload loose. The Commonwealth doesn't make deals. I'm talking about you.
What do you have to offer?
Over here 197? Maybe we need to remind them of this place.
Can you stop beating him? Don't. She's pregnant! Oh guys, you need to intervene quick.
Now. Now.
Who?
Holy shit. Oh, good.
What? Ow! You're out there? You're right there, I mean?
Jarvis. It's gone. What do you mean gone? It ain't ours anymore. It must change because the tracker's right now.
Yeah, if they find us, we're dead.
I suggest we get as far the hell away from most inside as humanly possible.
All I wanted was to hold my son.
For sure, she loves her son
He was gone,
and she's sad.
and there was nothing I could do.
But it feels so fake. We saw you using your dead son, you know, to punish someone else.
Killed my boy. Objection, Your Honor. This murderer needs to pay. Objection. My son's life cannot be in vain.
Oh, you're faking it, your eyes and all.
Perhaps we'll live a brick wall if you're nothing is getting through.
Yes. Time for the revolution! I'm seeing it since a long time now.
The lottery is about opportunity. And hope for a better future. Or is it a lie? There is a recording, Your Honor. We all heard it that day. That wasn't my son. Excuse me?
You're gonna try that?
I know my son's voice, and that wasn't him. The tape was altered.
You're really gonna play that card?
You actually expect us to believe that someone altered your son's voice? Not
With
someone.
what? Into that world?
Your client. This enemy of the state.
God, we know you stood up to battle. You want out of here as much as we do.
I want to live.
See, listen. For people in ours, we can take control.
We haven't tried that before. Same thing always happens. People who shouldn't die end up dead. Two choices.
You also, you need up.
People got each other dead. We lose faith in that. The idea that we can change this too. We're as good as dead anyway.
You're right.
Get up.
What did you do again?
Until you tell me where my wife is.
God. It's part of a plan, for sure. He knows what he does. Trust the man. I trust him.
The transfer's been denied. Sir, my brother's been very sick.
You should have told me directly instead of going around me to ask for a transfer. Your duty here has been extended 6 months.
It was denied not because of his reasons, but because of how he did it. You saw that, Negan. These soldiers, they are just obeying, and they don't like also how all of that is organized. The privileges of someone.
My guards. Someone is keeping track of my guards. When they come and go. How many are on shift at any time.
Interesting.
When you first came here, I thought maybe you were a leader. But now I see that you have other priorities. Real leaders separate and cleave themselves off from everyone else.
Oh, you're talking like an old Negan.
They're the real threats. There's a threat in my midst. And I believe it's one of your people.
But other than my wife, all those people, they hate my guts. So I don't know anything.
But I bet you can find out.
Bet I can't.
Not really an option.
You think that you're forcing him to do stuff? He's forcing you to do stuff. He's gonna give him, you know, false informations, stuff like that.
You're gonna get out of here. We will.
Yeah. I know we will. I am working on it.
And when we need to speak, you're sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, Annie, I would never risk us. I have known men like him my whole life. Hell, I used to be him.
And that's what I said.
Someone to fall hated you.
Oh, you're making him happy.
I will handle him.
I'm so worried for her. Be careful with the noise that you make. Clever, 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 clever. What is that place? Why did you choose that place?
We were right behind the houses. We were just trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Do you know where the kids are?
Yours. No. Yeah.
Can't remember.
Oh, you're trapped between workers and troopers?
And perhaps this time we accept the situation I found myself in.
What?
I knew this could come. Probably would come.
Nope.
So now I must prepare.
No, and I'm not gonna cry in advance for you for something which is not gonna happen. No.
I will let those troopers escort me, but not.
Your brother commands respect here. If we can get him on the stand, if we can get him to admit that Pamela is corrupt in public.
I think he would talk to you.
You're gonna record him?
You're involved. He might talk to me.
I want him to do it, but because he wants... I'm not a fan of the idea.
I don't believe that you don't care. Your sister doesn't either. Mercer, we need you. We need you to testify against Pamela in public to save.
Doing what you're asking won't change a thing.
It's not enough.
People say
You know, I'm thinking she's recording it.
Yes.
I have to get back.
It was not enough. Mercer, do it on your own, please.